What's happening, guys? Happy Friday and welcome to today's show. Arsenal lost yesterday, getting done at the Emirates 2-0 by West Ham. Absolutely sucker punched. The Premier League season is now taking shape. Spurs also lost to Brighton, and City managed to bounce back to beat Everton from a 1-0 deficit. Now, listen, I'm gonna first talk about Manchester City coming back from the Club World Cup, getting that trophy. Watching that game, the first half was pretty even. Everton got the first goal. Bear in mind, City were out Haaland and De Bruyne, but they're both soon to be fit. They managed to get back into the game. Foden, Alvarez coming to the fore. And it's been a good week for Manchester City, winning the Club World Cup, 10 days or so, winning the Club World Cup, and Liverpool dropping points, Arsenal dropping points, Villa dropping points, and they're just gaining ground now. And now that De Bruyne is soon to be back, Haaland's going to be back soon, you sort of wonder, towards the back end of the season, are they going to put that run together that they are capable of doing, that will clinch them the Premier League title, the fourth in a row, making a Premier League a Farmers League? It's going to be very interesting to see. I still think there's 4 teams in the title race: Villa, Liverpool, Arsenal and Manchester City. I don't think much has changed despite the other 3, apart from Manchester City dropping points in this period. A bit of bad news for Manchester City. John Stones got injured, looks like an ankle. It don't look too good. Stones has been, he's not been featuring much this season due to injury. I hope it ain't that bad. I hope it's a minor, and I hope to see John Stones back in a Manchester City shirt, and also, more importantly, back representing England at the upcoming Euros. So, Spurs, they got beat 4-2 yesterday. Not gonna come in and shit on them. They were away from home. And Brighton are a good team. Brighton are a good team, especially at home. Looking at the lineups here, and they're Emerson Royale and Davis at the back. No wonder they got done. Spurs, they're in need of their big guns to come back. The likes of, Van der Ven. He's a fantastic centre back. Romero, he's a good centre back. And the midfielder that they got from Leicester. What's he called? The midfielder that they got from Leicester. What's his name? Maddison. Yeah, they need Madders back and all. They've got a big injury list, but always what it is. Injuries are, either here or there. It's one of these seasons where everyone's going to beat everyone. Everyone's going to take points of everyone. It's a lot more competitive than it was last year. There's going to be a lot less between the teams. And I'm also predicting that whoever wins the Premier League ain't going to be more than 90 points. It's probably going to be in the 80s. So, it is a lot more competitive. Teams are beating each other. And, Spurs need some of their big guns to come back. That is clear now. So let's move on to Arsenal, West Ham. Arsenal at home. I was pretty confident going into this game. And, Arsenal had all the possession, had all the shots. Saka hit the post. Martinelli didn't have his shooting boots on. Gabriel Jesus, it is what it is. It's one of those things. I would say one of the big misses for Arsenal was definitely Kai Havertz. He was suspended for this game, unfortunately. But Kai Havertz was a massive miss. Kai in that midfield, his running, his hard work and his endeavour, his late runs into the box, his eye for goal, his tenacity, his strength and his size, his physical presence. He was a massive miss today. Trossard came in, played well, but weren't enough. Arsenal, again, which seems to be a theme, I've not been clinical enough, and West Ham getting us on a sucker punch. Souček with the first goal, and Mavropanos with the second goal, one of Arsenal's old boys, didn't celebrate, classy of him. Now, listen here. I want to talk about the VAR now. VAR, listen, the first goal, the ball was out of play. Right? It was out of play. Now, I think it was Jared Bowen who hooked it back to Souček, and Souček nodded it in with his foot to the goal. Now, the ball was out. Now I'm looking at the line, I'm looking at it, the replay and the line, thinking, all right, listen, the ball's out. Now his body, the player's body, is covering the line of the ball to see if it was out, but you could clearly see where the ball was positioned in between the leg of the player, that the ball was out of play. Now, I just don't understand how that goal was given. The ball was out of play. The ball was out of play. It's clear it was out of play. It shouldn't have been given. Now, their thing is, well, there's no conclusive evidence that the ball was out of play. I mean, the ball was out of play. Surely there needs to be some sort of technology there on the line, sensors or cameras by the goal. It's the best league in the world, according to the pundits and sports media, English sports pundits and media. It's the best league in the world according to them. They're biased. It's definitely the richest league in the world. So why are they not putting the technology there to be able to clarify these decisions without any shadow of a doubt, factually, instead of leaving the decisions in the hands of the most incompetent officials in football? And that's the English officials and the VAR people them. It is complete incompetence. The ball was out of play. The ball was out of play. You can see his body, Jared Bowen, was covering the line of the ball, but you can see from the position of the ball in between the guy's legs that the ball was clearly out of play, and the goal gets given. Another injustice to Arsenal, right? Now, I really like Mark Goldbridge. He's a YouTuber, a content that I spend a lot of time watching because he speaks a lot of sense. And I think me and Mark Goldbridge will get on. We'll chat football. We got similar views. Both got common sense, and we'll get on, right? And he put out a video slating VAR, which VAR needs slating, and Villa are getting decisions against them all the time. Liverpool are getting decisions against them all the time. Arsenal are getting decisions against them all the time. But City, they don't seem to be getting these decisions. They seem to be getting a rub of the green with these decisions all the time. And these things matter. 1 point, 2 points, losing points, gaining points. It's all going to make a difference towards the end of the season in the title race. It needs to be flagged. It needs to be brought to attention. It needs to be fixed. Now, the second goal, that ain't VAR's fault. That's Zinchenko's. Now, I'm not going to go in on Zinchenko too much. Defending has not been his strong suit. He does that inverted role so well. So I'm not going to slate him too much. Yes, he was marking Mavropanos. He lost the runner. Defensively clueless. That's basic defending. He needs to be more clued up there. He needs to have his concentration levels higher there. But I'm not going to slag him off too much now. But Zinny, fix up the man. Because there's big games coming and we need you. We need you. Now I'm going to predict that City and Liverpool are going to drop points. And Arsenal are going to bounce back. And hopefully by the end of the year we're sitting on top of the league. Right? So it is not a disaster. You know, this is a competitive league as it should be. Teams are going to beat other teams and you know, we're going to drop points. That's how it is. But I'm predicting a bounce back. We need Tommy back ASAP. Tommy Asu. And please, Timber, get well soon, my brother, because we need you and your quality back ASAP. And I also want to quickly talk about the striker situation. Gabriel Jesus is fantastic. You know, selling Eddie Nketiah getting 40 million for him and then using that money to fund the likes of an Osimhen deal is key now. I don't know if it's going to happen in January, but I would rather wait till summer to get a star, world class, world beater, than getting the likes of Ivan Toney, who ain't at the level. Ivan Toney is not at the level that Arsenal need. He's a good striker, but he's a Spurs striker or a Chelsea striker in the 10th place battle that they see themselves in, right? Arsenal need an elite striker, right? And Victor Osimhen is elite. I see some of these people coming on the YouTube. They're proper on this Ivan Toney thing. Some of these other Arsenal fan channels, content channels, they're pushing for this Ivan Toney thing. Is it because what? Is it because he's English? Is it because he plays in the Premier League? Why am I the only one? And why have I been the only one for months now screaming Victor Osimhen's name? And people are going to say, oh, well, it's because you're Nigerian, you're biased. Yes, I am Nigerian. But when you look at Victor Osimhen, he is quality. He is fantastic. He's better suited to Arsenal and Arteta's tactics than Ivan Toney. He's a better player. 8th in the Ballon d'Or. African Player of the Year. Broken records all last season. Collecting the awards like nothing. Now listen, I'm not too worried about it because these Ivan Toney things is paper talk. It's fan channel talk. Now I'm pretty sure that Edu and Arteta, they don't want Toney. He might be third choice on the list, but number one choice is Victor Osimhen. And I trust Edu to deliver that. Now, if it's going to happen in January, depends on if we can sell players. That's a Partey, Smith Rowe, Eddie Nketiah. But more than midfield, I think if we can get Victor Osimhen in January, it would be fantastic for this title charge. But we have to wait and see what's going to happen now. If we don't get him in January, then I'm pretty sure it's going to happen in the summer. But listen, Victor Osimhen is the striker that Arsenal need this season and far, far, far into the future coming seasons. He is elite. Absolutely elite. It's been a fantastic, Christmas period for football, the Boxing Day games. It's been fantastic. We didn't get the rub of the green against West Ham, but we will be back. Arsenal will bounce back. New Year's approaching. Whatever you guys are doing to celebrate the New Year's, have a great New Year's. Enjoy it. I'm going to try and get another video in before the New Year. If I don't, have a happy New Year with your friends and family. Have some lovely memories. Enjoy it. And I'll see you very soon for another one. Peace.